श्री रसायन देवो नमः। उपनिषद साइंस एकेडमी लिमखेड़ा से मैं देवांग प्रजापति, मेरी ये यूट्यूब चैनल देवांग सर केमिस्ट्री के अंदर आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूँ। दोस्तों, आज रोज हम स्टैंडर्ड 12th इंग्लिश मीडियम केमिस्ट्री, जिसमें जनरल ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री चैप्टर है हमारा अल्कोहल, फिनॉल एंड ईथर, उसका वीडियो नंबर 10 और लास्ट सेशन देखने जा रहे हैं कि जिसमें आज रोज बच्चों हम प्रिपरेशंस एंड केमिकल रिएक्शंस ऑफ ईथर के बारे में डिस्कशन करने वाले हैं वीडियो नंबर 10 के अंदर। तो चलिए दोस्तों शुरू करते हैं आज का ये सेशन। क्लास 12 इंग्लिश मीडियम केमिस्ट्री सब्जेक्ट, जनरल ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री, chapter is alcohol, phenol and ether. Upanishad Science Academy, Rajkot and Limkheda, we have two different branches. From there I, Devang Prajapati, having 8 years of experience of teaching of chemistry. Let's start up with the preparation of ethers. Before starting the video, the students who are new and watching this video, press the subscribe red color button, then beside of that you will be having the bell icon. Press it and select all options so that you can receive the latest notification. So now let's begin the journey of preparation of ethers. The first method, that is by dehydration of alcohol. Now dehydration of alcohol means what? Removal of water is known as dehydration of alcohol. Let us see that alcohols undergo dehydration in the presence of protic acid like H2SO4, H3PO4. So this acid will carry out the dehydration reaction. Which product is going to form? It is depending on the reaction condition, whether you are getting the alkene as a product or whether you are getting the ether as a product. This will determine the different reaction condition. Let us see that. The first of all, alcohol, or example of alcohol we have taken ethanol, is dehydrated to ethene in presence of H2SO4 and 443 Kelvin temperature. You will be getting the ethene and removal of water molecule will be there. Whereas in presence of sulfuric acid, at temperature if you are going to change, instead of taking 443 Kelvin temperature, if you are taking 413 Kelvin temperature, then your main product is going to be changed. You will be getting the ethoxyethane. There are two names of this: ethoxyethane. This is the IUPAC nomenclature. Whereas in common name you can say it diethyl ether. Okay, both names you can write it. Now here in this case you need to take the 2 moles of ethanol so that you can get this product. Okay, and there will be the removal of H2O. That's why the name of the title has been given, that is the dehydration. Okay, so different reaction condition will give you the different product. It may be double bond, that is alkene, that is ethene, or ethoxyethane. It is depending on us what you want. Okay, just say the condition. Diethyl ether has been used widely as an inhalation anesthetic, but due to its slow effect and an unpleasant recovery, it has been replaced as an anesthetic by other compounds. Means previously it was used as an anesthetic, okay, in inhalation, but now instead of using the ethoxyethane they are using something else, other compounds, okay. And what is the why they are not using? Because of the unpleasant recovery, okay. Then the formation of ether is a nucleophilic bimolecular reaction, that is SN2 reaction, involving the attack of alcohol molecule on a protonated alcohol as indicated below. Let us see that. The first of all, the alcohol, that is ethanol, react with H plus and it is going to give us the protonated alcohol. So in step number 1 there is a formation of protonation, you can say, okay. So that proton formation will be there. Then take the alcohol, second reaction, react with this protonated alcohol, another alcohol molecule react with the protonated alcohol, then you will be getting the CH3CH2OH, CH2CH3, and removal of the water molecule will be there. Still protonated ether is there. This is formation of protonated ether in step 2. Step 1 protonated alcohol, step 2 protonated ether formation is there, okay. This is the mechanism by which the ether formation is taking place. And during third step, this protonated ether will give you the ether, that is diethyl ether, and proton will be removed. That's why this name of this process is deprotonation. So protonation, protonated ether formation, and then deprotonation. These are the 3 different steps by which, or the mechanism of formation of ether, okay. Then acidic dehydration of alcohols to give an alkene, that is double bond, is also associated with the substitution reaction to give an ether. The method is suitable for the preparation of ethers having primary alkyl groups only. The alkyl group should be unhindered and the temperature be kept at low. More alkyl group will be hindered, so less alkyl group will be unhindered. Otherwise the reaction favors the formation of an alkene, okay. Now the reaction follows SN1 pathway when alcohol is secondary or tertiary, about which you will learn in the higher classes. Primary alcohol will favor the SN2 mechanism, whereas secondary and tertiary alcohol will favor the SN1 mechanism, okay. Higher classes let it be, but then for us the MCQ, primary alcohol will favor the SN2 mechanism, whereas secondary and tertiary alcohol will favor the SN1 mechanism. This is our point, okay, to remember for MCQ. However, the dehydration of secondary and tertiary alcohol give corresponding ethers is unsuccessful, as because their elimination competes over the substitution. As a consequence, the alkenes are easily formed. So primary alcohol will give you the formation of ether in an easier manner as compared to the secondary and tertiary alcohol. Secondary and tertiary generally it gives the alkenes instead of giving the ether at normal condition. Okay. Now, can you explain why is bimolecular dehydration is not appropriate for the preparation of ethyl methyl ether? The question is for you people. Why bimolecular dehydration is not appropriate for the preparation of ethyl methyl ether? I'll give you the hint. I'll draw the structure of this ethyl methyl ether. Okay, then might be you'll be getting the hint. Ethyl, in between I'll be keeping first oxygen. On one side I'll draw CH3, that is methyl itself. On other side I'll draw CH2, CH3. Okay, so why SN2 is not followed for this? What is the reason you need to give? Okay, so just reply in the comment. Why SN2? Why bimolecular dehydration is not appropriate for the preparation of ethyl methyl ether? It is suitable for diethyl ether, but then why not for ethyl methyl ether? Okay, just reply in the comment box. Okay, then the second reaction, which is very much important one, that is Williamson synthesis. Let us discuss it. Alexander William or Williamson was born in London of Scottish parent. In 1849, he became professor of chemistry at University of College of London, and he has given this synthesis. That's why on behalf of him the name has been given, that is Williamson synthesis. Let us discuss this. What is it exactly? It is an important laboratory method for the preparation of symmetrical and unsymmetrical ethers. Okay. Now last question is having little bit hinted over here. That is, by dehydration of alcohol you can only give this symmetrical kind of ethers. Okay. Whereas in case of Williamson synthesis, it can give both the kind of ethers, whether it is symmetrical or unsymmetrical or asymmetrical, whatever you can call it. In this method, and now here they can give twist the question and ask in theory for board that write the method by which symmetrical and asymmetrical or unsymmetrical ethers are formed. Then you need to write the Williamson synthesis. Okay, so in this way they can twist the questions in the chemistry especially. Then in this method an alkyl halide is allowed to react with the sodium alkoxide. So let us take the alkyl halide, that is RX, react with the sodium alkoxide, that is R-ONA. It is going to give us the product as an ether. Okay, R and R dash, it denotes it may be same alkyl group, it may be different alkyl group, or aryl group, it may be anything. And sodium halide NX will be removed. Ethers containing substituted alkyl groups, suppose if it is secondary or tertiary, may also be prepared by this method. The reaction involves, again for MCQ, SN2 attack of an alkoxide ion on primary alkyl halide. Whereas, let us take the example, suppose CH3C, CH3, CH3O minus Na, it react with CH3Br, that is methyl bromide. This oxygen is going to attack over here with the methyl group, so that we can get the product like this, and this sodium will run away with this Br, so you will be getting the product byproduct as a NaBr. Okay, so this is your ether formation. O, one side you have this CH3, on other side you have CH3C, CH3 and CH3. Okay. Better results are obtained if the alkyl halide is primary. If primary alkyl halide is there, then you will be getting the better result. In case of secondary and tertiary alkyl halide, elimination competes over a substitution. So there might be the formation of double bond will be there. Let us see that. Yes, see, if a tertiary alkyl halide is used, then our product will be, I said just now, you will be getting double bond formation. So that is alkene, is only the reaction product. No ether is formed. For example, the reaction of CH3ONa with CH3 thrice CBr gives exclusively 2-methylpropene. Let us see that reaction. CH3C, CH3Br. Center CH3 is there and three sides you have the CH3. And then Br react with NaOCH3. You will be getting product 2-methylpropene. Okay, so you can see that what they have said, that double bond formation will be there. Okay, then NaBr will be liberated along with that, and methanol will be there, CH3OH. Okay, so these are the byproduct can be asked. Okay, it is because alkoxides are not only nucleophiles but strong bases as well. That's why they react with alkyl halides, leading to the elimination reaction and give the double bond formation also. Okay, it can give the ether also, it can give the double bond formation also. Okay, now phenols are also converted to ethers by this method. In this, phenol is used as the phenoxide moiety. Let us see that. First, phenol react with NaOH. It is going to give us the sodium phenoxide, which react with the alkyl halide, and it is going to give us the ether formation. Okay, then that's what the preparation of ethers, the formation of ethers, all you can say. Now after this you have the physical properties of ether, but that we don't have to do it because of deleted syllabus. And now we are going in the chemical reactions of ether. Let us see that, in which the cleavage of CO bond in the ethers will be there. Okay, carbon oxygen bond break cleavage will be there. Ethers are the least reactive of the functional groups. The cleavage of CO bond in ether takes place under the drastic condition with excess of hydrogen halides. The reaction of dialkyl ether gives 2 alkyl halide molecules. Let us see that. The first one, the ether react with hydrogen halide HX will give the alkyl halide and alcohol formation will be there. Take this alcohol, react with again hydrogen halide, you will be getting again alkyl halide and give the water molecule. So what they have written, see that the reaction of dialkyl ether gives 2 alkyl halide molecule. These are the 2 alkyl halide molecule, 1 and 2. Then alkyl aryl ethers are cleaved at the alkyl oxygen bond due to the more stable aryl oxygen bond. Aryl oxygen bond will be quite, see, double bond, partial double bond characteristics are there because of the benzene ring. So that bond breaking is quite tough as compared to the alkyl one. The reaction yield the phenol and alkyl halide. Let us see that. So take the alkyl aryl ether, react with HX, will be getting the phenol and RX will be removed. Okay. Then ethers with two different alkyl groups are also cleaved in the same manner. Let us see that also. Two different alkyl groups will be there, R and R dash they have given. HX will be getting alkyl halide and alcohol. The order of reactivity for hydrogen halide as follows can be asked in MCQ. HI greater than HBr greater than HCl. Okay, so this can be asked in form of MCQ. The cleavage of ether takes place with concentrated HI or HBr at high temperature too. However, when one of the alkyl group is tertiary group, the halide formed is a tertiary halide. Let us see that reaction. Yes. CH3C, CH3, CH3O, CH3. On one side you have tertiary group. Okay, ether where it is at that carbon is 1, 2 and 3 carbon से attach हुए हैं. React with HI, you will be getting the alcohol and alkyl halide, iodide in short, which is the tertiary. It is because in step 2 reaction, the departure of leaving group is CH3OH creates a more stable carbocation, that is CH3 thrice C+, and the reaction follows the SN1 mechanism. Okay. In case of anisole, methyl phenyl oxonium ion, that is C6H5 O plus H CH3 is formed by protonation of ether. The alkyl bond OCH3 is weaker than the bond between the OC6H5 because of the carbon phenyl group is having the sp2 hybridized and there is a partial double bond character. ये बात हमारी हो गई already. Okay. Therefore, the attack by iodide ion breaks OCH3 bond to form CH3I. Phenol do not react further to give the halides because of the sp2 hybridized carbon of the phenol cannot undergo the nucleophilic substitution reaction which is needed for the conversion of the halide. Now, what was the mechanism? We'll discuss it first. So, in the step number 1, we'll be having CH3C, CH3, once again CH3, O plus H, CH3. This reaction will be slow, so rate determining step will be there. Will give you the CH3, C plus carbocation, CH3, CH3 plus CH3OH. So we'll give you the formation of carbocation. Now this carbocation will react with plus iodide ion, which is the fast reaction, and will give you the CH3, C, CH3, CH3, and here the iodine will be attached, which will give you the tertiary alkyl halide. Okay. Then that's all. We'll be keeping it till here. Okay. So now after this we have the electrophilic substitution reaction in which halogenation, then Friedel-Crafts reaction and nitration are there, and then the chapter is going to be over. But then this last topic we don't have to do because of the deleted syllabus. Okay. That's all. That's the end of this particular chapter for alcohol, phenol and ether. Okay. If you like the video, then press the like button, and those who are new, subscribe the channel so that you can get the latest notification. That's all. Thank you.